Okay, what I'm gonna try to diagram is we talked about uh, this molecular theory for networks, professional networks, societal networks. I don't want to just relegate it to professional because there's more to life than just a profession. Um, it can be applied to professional networks, but I think this is something that's indicative of all things. Okay, so where I want to start is I want to start here with a node, which is a person. It can be you, right? Now, on this, and this right now is two dimensions. It's going to be a two-dimensional diagram. So here is you, and so this is on this in this axis. Let's call that level. That's what level you're on, whether you're professional or whatever. It's a level that you're on. Can this be seen? It's kind of glare. It's actually, let me just, because it's actually that light that's causing the problem. But is that too dark when I turn it on?
Mm,
Let me see. See, yeah, you can see the board better. That
mhm.
glare was killing the board. Okay, so this is level, the level, the associate kind of level that you're on in life. So it's we normalize it right here. It's kind of the middle. Okay, and then on this axis is your um, position. Let's say position, right? What are you doing, right? What kind of, so let's use you as an example. Okay, you are currently a graduate student, so let's use, all right, so you are a computer science graduate student, or master's degree. You haven't obtained it yet. You're working on it. So with that regard, where would you say just below you would be? Somebody just below you.
Undergrad?
Yeah. So say it's like an undergrad, right? And so on. It might be somebody who's in high school, right? So on. And, whatever level. And again, we kind of education, using education almost as a measure. But it's a little bit more than that. Station in life and all that stuff. And then, we could go upward. So let's just say that, somebody with their master's degree, maybe somebody who's a, PhD, maybe, I don't know above, but right now we're kind of using education as that to measure. So let's just say this is somebody who's worked in the field, or maybe they're a professor or something like that, right? Um, right? So
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Now, so here you are. now, so so this right now, let's say it's computer science. That's because that's what you're doing. So position or types of activities that are close to you would be what? What's an example?
You talking about as far as like computer science things?
No, this is a profession that is close. The further you get away from you, the less like the field. This could be, biology over here.
So like a position like in IT?
Like what?
In IT.
Yeah, maybe, but um, let's just be a little more. Let's say that. Let's just say here is engineering, and maybe physics is over here. So now let's say that this is biology. Okay, and yeah, like I said, so this might be IT because it's kind of close. But now as you get further over here, it's different. Um, it could be, let's just say, just be crazy, say music, right? As you get further away from you, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you get it now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's for example kind of suppose where I am on this thing in relation to
Yeah.
you. Somewhere up here, I've been a professor and had a couple of levels in academic leadership. So let's just say up here somewhere, dean, right,
Mm-hmm.
president, and all them up there, right? So, and I'm in engineering, so it's close to computer science and technologically, but not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now that's me. Now, the size of the dot or ball, whatever, is the significance of the person in that position. Because see, there could be a lot of people at this level, but how significant, how powerful, how much juice do they have as a, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your dot is kind of like that, and it's growing, it's going to be growing. So mine, what would mine look like? No, it'd be big. It'd be, let's just say like that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like an indication of mass. It's mass. Okay, now, so now you're doing work with me. I recruited you onto this project, all that stuff. So now we're connected, and so there's this connection. So there's this connection. Now the strength of it can vary as time goes by or whatever. The strength of the connect, but that's a bond. That's like a bond. So you have for a particular person, you have so a particular all right, so person or node, you have position, level, you have significance, okay? Then we'll get to the bonds later. So, um, but there's also direction. And what do I mean by direction? See, now that
In the connection?
no, just you. Now you have the position you're in, and you have the level that you're in. So which direction are you heading in your professionally?
Up.
Straight up, that way, this way?
Right
You're
now.
gonna be, yeah. All right. So your direction is in that way. Now, my direction might be like this, something like that,
Mhm.
But I'm hoping to go up, hopefully when they become a president or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Some people's direction can be like that, some can be like that, right? But now that you have this diagram, you can kind of, place that. So a direction is another piece. So then, you have the bonds between people. So that's just me. Okay, now let's start putting some other people in. Because remember, this is all relative to you. So let's put some other people on here. Let's start with a faculty member, or somebody. Maybe it could be Dr. Chan, for example. Okay, let's put Dr. Chan on here. He has PhD, he's a professor, engineering. Um, he's somewhere here,
Mhm.
and size wise, So you can put numbers to all of these things, okay? And you're connected to him. Now guess what? He's connected to me. Now I'm not going to draw that bond. Well, I guess he's connected. I've known him longer than you, and we're doing some other work together. So we're connected. Now his trajectory. Um, I mean, he's not headed into this space per se. So I would say his professional trajectory is probably more like this. Well, no, maybe more like that, right? Or, well, since he's working kind of in the computers, maybe it's more like that. Since he's working on that project. Okay? So who else? Who else did you put on there?
We use Dr. Fu.
Okay, Dr. Fu.
She would be proficient in computer science. I'm a professor.
She's more right in here. And I won't comment on the strength of the connections yet, but that's definitely something you can do. And I kind of say she's not moving this way, that way, and she's probably slightly moving in that direction. All right. What about some of your peers?
Well, most of my peers in the business.
Okay, so they're probably over here somewhere. So probably this is probably a good one to say is maybe business. I think that's music's really far afield, probably over your slip set. So give me you don't have to name a name, just give me an example.
So they would be right on my level.
They're doing their here in business, and they're somewhat like that. All right. Where are they trajectory wise?
I would say up, straight
Okay. And you're connected in some way, right? So, you can start building this thing out. Now, guess what? I'm connected to a whole lot of people, right? So is Dr. Chan, so is Dr. Fu. So by you being connected to us, you're all because I could move this down and make the same thing for me,
up.
and you'll be loosely associated to many of the people I'm connected to. And it's not just okay. So there's two things. There's a couple of things that are impacted by this. So your momentum. So the strength of the connection. We're gonna call uh, gamma. So we have one, two, three, four. So let's gamma one, gamma two, gamma three, gamma four. That's the strength of the connection between, right? Um, so the significance, this thing we're gonna call M. So that's M2, M1, M3, M4. And the direction D2 is going to be um, um, I'll call it, this is, because we've got, what I call this is position, that's P, and this is level, that's L. So, and then there's going to be some weight associated to how much you're moving. This is making a vector. So this is going to be, um, um, so D2 uh, P in the P direction plus D2 L in the L direction. That's just that's a vector that does that, right? So if you want some sort of measure then of how the impact that these connections have on your movement, um, so this is a vector. So the impact of on you is D 0, because that's you, is going to be equal to the sum of D sub I equals 1 to the number of nodes that you have. Um, but also is going to be multiplied by the strength gamma, and so this actually is not going to be, this is going to be more like it's going to be something else. It's not going to be a direction per se, but this is more like the momentum. I call it capital N, and it's going to be a vector. The impact also times the mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the strength of the connection, the mass of the connection, and the direction that it's going in, that gives you this overall pull that you're getting in these different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because your friend could influence you to maybe get out of computer science into business, right? Or a faculty member in business could influence. Yeah, and it would so the connections that you have and the influence that they have on you all impact the resultant momentum or whatever, I don't know what to call it. No, it'll be more, I would say right now it's more like that. Okay? But then there's something else. So that's one part of it. Then there's something else. And there is the energy that flows through the connections, through the bonds. And that energy is not metaphysical, it's communication, it's inspiration. I mean, and that's communication too. When I talk to you and you get charged up, you're ready to get after your stuff and do your work, that's a some energy that flows on that bond, which serves what else? These faculty members that you got. What are you getting from that? You get knowledge from it, right? What do so and back and forth. You get something from your friends too. What does that do?
What, to me?
Yeah. In the way that we've described this, what does it do?
Change mine.
No, not necessarily. That's the pull and all that.
Oh, the mass?
Yeah, it's because you're increasing your knowledge, and over time, it's going to grow that internal mass. I need another letter for this because this is not. I don't want to use N because I want to use some other thing. Let's call it weight. W. Okay, so that's that. So then the mass, the mass can be more like, and let's call these these things of communication as over time happens over time, and you're accumulating it, right? So, this is going to be the summation of I equals 1 to n of the integral over ci of t dt. And I would also argue that the strength of the connection is in there too. That impacts the communication. That's whether you listen to them or not, right? That's in there. Their mass and their strength doesn't necessarily impact. Well, maybe it does. It might. It might. The mass of the person. Yeah, I think it's in there. I think it's in there. I think it's in there. So, but those are constants, or they can kind of change over time, and they actually do. So really, to be,
you grow.
yeah, to be, and this is time. So really, this should be the integral of gamma t I m I t and c of I of t dt. because let's just assume that they change, you know. And that's your measures. That's the impact that person has. So say for instance, here's um, you know, for me, which is number two, and let's say our communication is intermittent, right? Over time, once a week, right? That's how we're communicating. Maybe it's email, stuff like that, but it's kind of intermittent. So that's our, but you, so the integration of that is, you're gonna get um, this it goes up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we got that. Well, but you see what I'm saying. So the more time you spend with a person of significant weight and all that, the more you're gonna get from now. What do we call it? This is the this is yeah. And see, this is yeah, and it makes sense. Your mass is gonna grow, right? If you spend more time talking to people like me, Dr. Chan, it's gonna grow, and then this is gonna get bigger, and you're gonna move upward. So as you grow up, you should also get bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this does not at all have all the people you're connected to, nor does it have all the people we're connected to. So now you start making this thing, it becomes this tapestry of, you know, and it's moving and it's living, but you could model it.
Mm-hmm.
So how interesting is that? That you could maybe model and strategically create your network to move you in a direct. So now you can say, well, I wish I had another color. You say, well, here's my goal. I want to be in business for myself, running a company, running a major computer science, computer-based company. And I want to be a heavyweight. Okay? So that's your goal, right? Let's say that's your goal. Now you can start tailoring, strategically shaping your network with people that are in that space. That's going to draw you there, and you communicate with them, and you're drawn according to the bond you create with with the people that are around that space, or maybe even somebody just that exactly is in that space that you're in now. You see? Now, the why I keep saying it's molecular theory because it's like a molecule. These are all atoms. We're all atoms, but we're different.
Mm-hmm.
We've got different. When atoms have mass, they have momentum. Uh, I have spin in there, but again that's a quantum mechanical type thing. But they have that, and then when you put them all together, and they come because and atoms come together materials because of an affinity that they have. They some open valence electrons and this and
Mm-hmm.
but you have to stress it in order to make them come together. That's what we heat. And heat is really just vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just moving stuff around, and they come together. It's like shaking a box and making things settle to where to its natural state that it wants to be in. That's what you're doing. You heat something up. So if I take these two materials and I heat it up, they mix together and create a new one. But that's what happens here. You find connections naturally, and it creates this tapestry. It creates this material, this molecule that is your network. But I'm saying that you can be strategic about it. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's it. So, you can